All right, hello yogis. Welcome back to your mats today. We're going to learn some sun salutations, specifically sun salutation series C, which is kind of a beginner variation. So first of all, get your mat and have your blocks ready. You might not necessarily need them, but you know, if you do modifications, it's always nice to have them ready. Okay. So here's how we're going to do this. I'll go very slowly, step by step through each pose in a sun salutation. I'll give pretty detailed alignment, how to do each pose in the series, and then we'll go faster through them, right? So a sun salutation is nothing more than a series of poses placed together in a certain way that are linked with the breathing, right? So you'll hear me as we get into more faster movements of these. You'll hear me cueing your breath with your movement, all right? So first and foremost, we're going to start the beginning and ending of every sun salutation is mountain pose. So go ahead and come to the front of your mat and find yourself in your mountain pose, right? Standing tall on the feet, making sure in mountain pose, right, the toes don't turn outward. We want to make sure the toes face forward. Also, real quick about mountain, if you're less than familiar, is how the feet are placed, right? So if you are challenging your balance, you can have the feet touching, right? If you want, you can bring the heels slightly apart with the toes touching. And if you need a little more balance, you can bring your feet apart, okay? But again, the key element is not to turn the toes outward, right? That puts unnecessary pressure on our knees, right? And so we stand tall, we press our feet into the earth, we turn our palms to face forward, and we kind of roll the shoulders back, right? We roll the shoulders back, but without arching the spine, right? And all that does is just open across the collarbones and helps to strengthen the muscles of the upper back, okay? So mountain pose is the beginning and ending of all sun salutations. So take a moment to stand at the front of your mat and prepare yourself for sun salutation C, okay? So we start a mountain pose. We're going to inhale and reach the arms to the sky, straight up, right? We call it upward hand salute. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths just so we feel the alignment properties of this pose, right? So we're reaching the arms straight up to the sky. If you wanted to, some people like to back bend, so you could kind of tip the pelvis forward and arch the spine a little bit back, and maybe even tip the head back and look up at the hands in our upward hand salute. All right, you're going to breathe, of course. You're going to take some big, deep ujjayi breaths in every pose as we notice how it feels in our body in each shape, right? So take another big breath in. Now we're going to dive down with a flat back. So as I exhale, you'll notice my arms kind of come down wide. And again, I fold forward. I hinge at my hips. And with a flat back, I come into standing forward fold, right? So this is the next pose in our sun salutation C, is standing forward fold. Now we're going to hang out here for several breaths. We're going to breathe. And there's variations in every pose, right? So I can keep my legs straight here. Or if I want to, see me, my hamstrings are tight, so I step my feet a little further apart. You can bend your knees if you want. And we're going to spend 5 breaths here. So hang the head, right? Make sure you're not holding your head up. Let gravity open you up. And if your hands are on the mat, that's fine. If you want a little more here, you can grab onto your elbows, opposite elbows. And I like to sway and rock in this pose with my knees bent a little bit. What that does is release a lot of tension from my hamstrings, my calves, and even in my low back area. This pose, as I breathe in it, release a lot of tension in my spine. And if you're carrying more in your head and neck, nod your head no. Nod your head yes. Let your head and neck just relax, okay? And take another breath or two. Ujjayi breath. Good. So the next pose in our sun salutation is a lunge, is a high lunge. If you need blocks, right, and hopefully they're right by you, you can put the blocks right by your feet. So they're there for your hands if you need them. Otherwise, don't worry about them. I bring my hands to my mat or on my blocks. My left foot is going to stay forward between my hands, right, or in the front of the mat. I'm going to inhale and step my right foot way, way back, right? And notice in lunge, I'm on the ball of my back foot. Also notice in lunge, my ankle of my front knee, my left knee, my ankle, and my knee are stacked, right? Sometimes when you come into lunge, the ankle is behind the knee like this. So you want to actually maybe help yourself scoot it forward so that you have this beautiful stacked alignment, right? Which is better for your bones, and you don't have to work as hard when your body's in alignment, right? So I'm in high lunge. Here I am, right? My back knee is up off the mat. I'm on the ball of my back foot. And then to take it even further, I'm going to push off of my blocks or my mat. I'm going to inhale and reach my arms up to the sky. This is my high lunge pose. The next shape in my Sun Salutation C. And then arms can reach up. And of course, there's variations. You can interlace the fingers or keep your hands at your heart. Maybe your arms need to rest today. Take a breath in. High lunge. Good. Exhale. Bring your hands down to the mat. The next pose is downward facing dog. All right, so we're going to exhale and step that left foot back. And I'm still on my blocks. I'm going to lower down into my hands. So I'm in my downward facing dog. I'm going to pedal those feet a little back and forth. Right, so the defining features of downward facing dog are that I'm pressing into my hands. I'm also spreading my fingers and making my hands as big as I can. So my hands aren't like crunched or my wrists aren't doing anything weird. Right, I'm pushing my hands into my mat, straightening my arms, and reaching my tailbone up. All right, so it should be like an upside down V shape with your body, not a U. Sometimes if we come into this pose, we might make it like a U shape. And if you maybe have a mirror or something that you can practice by to see where you're at. If you're more like in this U shape, as I'm doing right now, you're going to bend your knees a little bit. So that takes out the tightness of your hamstrings. And then push, keep the knees bent while you push into the hands. And that should allow you to get that nice long straight back that we're looking for in downward facing dog. All right, so again, if you have that U shape in your body, you want to bend your knees and then straighten those arms and then really flatten that back, okay? So now I've got my flat back, taking the U out of my shape, and then I'm going to draw my heels down towards the floor. Now, if you're really open, you can actually get your heels all the way to the floor. Most people cannot, so that's okay. If your feet aren't flat in downward facing dog, that's fine. Not doing it wrong. We're just all tight, right? Tight back, tight legs, everything. Breathe. Right? It's a powerful pose. Right? Stretching and strengthening all the muscles of our upper body all at once. Okay? So next is plank. We're going to go into plank pose. So inhale, and from downward facing dog, we just shift our body weight forward into plank pose. Right? And in plank pose, my shoulders are stacked over my wrists. My hips are level, so sometimes it's common for people to think their hips in plank. Lift the hips up, but not too high, right? We want one long line, like a plank of wood from the top of my head to my heels, right? Also, I'm kind of looking down at my mat. I'm not hanging my head, and I'm also not tipping my head back. I'm tucking my chin slightly and shooting the crown of my head forward, right? So same thing, my hands should be nice and big. I'm supporting my body weight on my hands and on the balls of my feet. Good. So the next pose we go into is called Ashtanga Pranam, which means knees, chest, chin. Okay, so from here, I drop my knees down to the mat wherever they touch. This part gets a little tricky. I lower my chest and my chin towards the floor. And I do so by bending my elbows straight back, right? Keeping my tailbone back as well and lowering my chest right between my hands. Right, notice my elbows stay hugged in. I'm not spreading my elbows wide, and then my chest and my chin towards the floor. So a little bit of a back bend as well. So knees, chest, chin is the pose. Let's try it again. Inhale, straighten the arms. Lift the knees. Come up into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. So we've got our yogi push-ups here. To do a couple. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. One more time, inhale, plank. Good job, you guys. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Beautiful. Staying in knees, chest, chin. Inchworm forward, so your belly is down on the mat. We're going to uncurl our toes so the tops of the feet are on the floor. Okay, the next pose is called Cobra. So I'm making my little snake tail back behind me. You can bring your toes to touch, right? And if you're a little tighter in your low back, you'll actually bring your feet wider, maybe even as wide as the edge of the mat, or somewhere in between. Right? Notice my hands haven't even moved since I was in down dog. Right? So the hands should still be right there. My elbows are still hugging my sides. I'm streamlining my body. So for Cobra pose, the idea is that I push into my hands, keeping the elbows in, keep the shoulders back, push into the hands, lift the heart. So there's going to be differences, of course, in Cobra pose. You're going to maybe, for some of you, can't push up very high. Maybe your low back is real tight. Maybe you're just in a very low Cobra. Maybe you're barely off the mat. So the key features of Cobra pose are that we want to make sure that the shoulders don't start to shrug up. That's a common, it happens, right? So we want to keep those shoulder blades pulling back and down. It's creating space in our upper back and neck. And the elbows, making sure the elbows stay hugged in. And when we do that, this is upper body, right? So I'm pushing into my hands, keeping my elbows in, slightly tucking my chin, closing my eyes, and breathing. Cobra pose, you can push into the tops of the feet a little bit. Cobra pose. Good. Exhale, bow the head. Take your hands, rest the hands and arms next to your body for just a moment. Just a little rest. We're going to practice Cobra pose again. Okay? Good. Then plant those hands, bring them right by the chest. Keep the elbows hugging in. Right? Hands under the shoulders. Here we go. Inhaling, pushing into the hands, lifting the heart, lifting the chest off the mat. Lift up. Okay? So I have my belly button all the way off the floor. Getting myself a nice, a bigger back bend. Again, if it's too intense or your body just won't allow, you can just barely come off the floor, right? Maybe your belly button's not down or up yet, okay? That's okay. Keep the chin slightly tucking, not hanging the head, but also not tipping the head fully back. Cobra, breathe, relax your face, relax your jaw. Close your eyes. Beautiful. Exhale, bow the head. Good. From our Cobra, we push up all the way back into downward facing dog. So curl your toes. Here we go. Big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to push back up into plank, right? Or come through your hands and knees if you need to. Support yourself. And as you exhale, back into downward facing dog. Pressing into the hands, reaching the tailbone all the way up to the sky. And try to draw the heels down to the mat. We're actually going to stay in downward facing dog for at least 5 breaths. So breathe, push into your hands, keep the spine nice and long. Remember, if you're kind of making a U shape, bend your knees and then straighten the spine. All right, those legs are tight. Or if you want to play, like I like to, pedal my feet a little back and forth. Or maybe sometimes I pretend I actually have my dog tail and kind of wag my tail around. All right, feels good. Notice what feels good to you. Breathe. Beautiful. So from this downward facing dog, we're going to make our way back into our lunge pose, but with the right foot forward. So looking between your hands, inhale, lift your right leg up behind you, bend your right knee. As you exhale, shifting the body weight forward, try to touch your knee towards your nose and stamp your right foot in between your hands, right there. Okay? If you need to, some of you might even need to help yourself pick up your own leg, place it where it needs to go. And remember for lunge that the ankle needs to stack right under the knee, right? This is the angle we're looking for. Okay, once you got that, then we're going to, same thing, maybe at your blocks, your hands can be on blocks or on your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Breathe. High lunge. Good. Nice, you guys. Pressing into that front leg. Try to track the knee also. Like sometimes when we're in our high lunge, the knee like wants to splay out to the side. See that the knee lines up with the middle toes. Good. Another big breath in, high lunge. You're doing great. Exhale, hands to the floor. You're going to step the left foot forward to meet your right. Come back into your standing forward fold. Take a breath or two here. Hang out. Remember, if you're tight, you can always bend your knees. Good. So now we keep our flat back. I inhale, flat back, right? Leading with the back of my body. I come all the way up into my extended mountain pose or upward hand salute. Sometimes it's called. Maybe getting a little back bend if I want. And then as I exhale, I bring my hands back to my heart center. Good. That is our traditional Sun Salutation C. All right? We'll do it several more times. We'll do a couple variations for you guys to modify. And then we'll do it very fast, or we'll go breath by breath the way that these are traditionally practiced. Okay? So back in mountain pose. Here we go. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale to flat back, standing forward fold. Good. Inhale the right foot back again on the ball of the back foot. So we did high lunge last time. We're going to do low lunge this time, switching it up on everybody. Drop your right knee down to the mat, okay? Put my right knee to the floor. If you're on a harder surface or you just have sensitive knees, you can take your mat real quick and just kind of flip it, do a little roll, and make a little cushion if you have a sensitive knee, right? So that's just an option. So I've got my right knee back. I'm going to inhale, reach my arms to the sky. And I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to breathe. Take another inhale. And as you exhale this time, bring your hands to your heart center. So we're doing a low lunge variation. Breathing, I'm still planting through my front foot. I'm still making sure my alignment is here, right? And why I like low lunge a lot is because I feel an extra stretch on the top of this right thigh. Right? So high or low lunge, right? When you practice this on your own, you have the option to kind of do either or, whichever one feels good in your body in this moment, right? So we're in low lunge. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, lift up that back knee, so come into your high lunge. Exhale, plank is next. So bring your left foot back to meet your right. Hands should be stacked right underneath the shoulders, wrists under shoulders, right? Hips level. And I'm on the balls of my feet, keeping my belly pulling in. Your belly, your core is going to help support your back. Take another inhale. Next is knees, chest, chin. So the knees come down. I lower my chest between my hands, keep my tail up. Good. One more yogi push-up. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the knees, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inchworming forward so the belly is flat on the mat. Flipping those toes so the tops of the feet are on the floor. Find your cobra tail. Inhale, lift up into your cobra. Push into those hands. Keep the elbows hugging the sides. Breathe. Big inhales and exhales. Slightly tuck the chin. Allow your ujjayi breath to be like the hissing sound of a snake. Good. One more inhale. Whether you're in low cobra or high cobra, on your next exhale, bowing your head. Curl those toes under. Push up as you inhale into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog is next. You take a few breaths. Pressing into those hands. Reaching the tailbone up. Remember, you want that V shape where the tip of your tail is the apex of your V. Bending the knees if you're real tight. Straightening those arms. Get that back as long, that spine as long as you can. Yes, downward facing dog is a very powerful pose, right? It will stretch and strengthen all the muscles on your upper body all at the same time. Breathing. Beautiful. Look between your hands as you inhale, lift your right leg again. Bend your right knee, bringing the right knee towards the nose. Stamp the right foot in between your hands. This time lowering your left knee down, low lunge. And same thing, if you want to flip your mat, give yourself a little knee cushion, you can. Low lunge. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, this time hands to heart center. We're going to take at least 3 breaths. Close your eyes in your low lunge. Just notice the sensations from one side of the body to the other. And allow your breath, slow and steady, to move through you. Good. One more inhale, reaching your arms up. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Curling the toe under behind you. Inhale, high lunge. Lift that back knee. Exhale, step that back foot forward, left foot forward, standing forward fold. With a flat back, we'll inhale, reach the arms to the sky, upward hand salute. Maybe tipping the torso back, pressing the pelvis forward as you exhale. Mountain pose, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Let's stay nice and slow. This time, staying with the low lunge variation, and then we'll do a couple rounds of fast. So you feel how the sun salutation, of course, builds heat. All right, that's why it's called sun salute. Heat like that sun. Here we go. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, standing forward, fold nice flat back as you dive down to meet yourself. Okay. This time we're going to step back with our left foot. So inhale, left foot back, low lunge. Drop your left knee to the mat. Inhale, sweeping the arms up to the sky. Breathe. You might also hear some teachers call this crescent lunge. All right, same. Breathe. Strong legs, long legs. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Curl the back toe under. Inhale, high lunge. Lift the back knee. Exhale, plank is next. Step the right foot back. Keep the belly pulling in. Your belly, your core muscles supporting you as you exhale, lowering to knees, chest, and chin. A yogi push up here. Inhale, straighten the arms. Lift the knees, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin again. Let's go into our cobra. So we inch one forward. The belly comes flat on the mat. Tops the feet to the floor. Inhale, push into the hands, lift the chest, lift the heart. Keep the elbows hugging in. Remember, keep the shoulder blades rolling back and down. Keep the chin slightly towards the chest. 2 more breaths in your cobra. Ujjayi. Right. Good. On your next exhale, bow your head. Curl your toes under. Inhale, push up into your plank pose. Exhaling into your downward facing dog. Taking a couple breaths here. Good, you guys. Big inhales and exhales in your down dog. Pedaling the feet again if you need to. Keeping the knees bent if you need to. Wagging the tail a little around if you need to. Good. Low lunge, other side. So inhale, left leg comes up, down dog split. Right? Bending the left knee. You shift your body weight forward, exhaling, bringing the left knee towards the nose, but stamping that left foot in between the hands. Dropping the right knee down. Low lunge, right leg back. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close the eyes, breathe. Big inhales and exhale. Press down through the front foot. Feel the length along that back leg. One more inhale as the arms reach up. Exhale, hands down. Curl the back toe under. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, step the right foot forward, standing forward fold. With a flat back, we'll inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Slide back bend as we exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. We're going to do 2 more rounds. This time we're going to go very fast, right? And by that I just mean 1 movement per breath. If you can stay with me, awesome. If you need to go a little slower, that's fine too, as you get more used to this and as you build strength. Okay, so 2 rounds of our sun salutation C, going 1 breath at a time, or 1 breath for 1 movement, right? Okay, come to the front of your mat again. Mountain pose. Inhale, upward hand salute. Flat back, exhale, standing forward fold. Right foot back, high lunge, sweep the arms to the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, plank pose, hands to the mat, step all the way back. Hold plank, take a breath in. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, big movement, big exhale, down dog. Right foot forward, high lunge as you inhale, sweeping the arms to the sky. Exhale, standing forward fold. Left foot forward as you exhale. Flat back, sweeping the arms all the way up as you inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. 1 more, other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, this time left foot back, high lunge, sweep the arms up. On your inhale, you guys got it. Exhale, plank, hands down, step it back. Hold plank, take a breath in. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, high lunge as you inhale. Arms sweep to the sky. Exhale, standing forward fold. Right foot forward to meet the left in the front of the mat. Flat back, inhaling all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close the eyes, breathe. Sun salutations are meant to build heat in the body. And also, of course, build strength. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky one last time here. Exhale, make a standing forward fold. Good. We're going to give ourselves a little rest in this pose. Hanging out. Taking a few breaths in and out. Bend the knees if you need to. Grab onto opposite elbows if you need to. Sway, rock. Notice how you feel after just a few rounds of that practice. Bend your knees. Let those hands release slowly. Roll up like a rag doll. Just slowly rolling the spine up. And we got nice and easy, nice and slow. One vertebra at a time. Your hands to your heart center. Where I get the chance to say to you all, great job learning Sun Salutation C. Today is your beginning variation. So practice these, building up, again, upper body strength. These are going to get you ready for other Sun Salutations, A and B, which are a little more advanced. So, fabulous job. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in each